What's up, Moose family? Welcome to Moose Roundup, first edition here for 2012. New season here, same show, Moose Roundup. As you can see, I'm surrounded here by NJ Ski, Fallen Warrior, Shadow Demon, and oh yeah, Jason Blaze here. Guys, how you guys doing here on a Sunday night? Iggy, number one. Okay. Hey, Ski, how did that Broncos
What a
game, man?
shout
Tim
out.
Tebow coming back again, man? What's up with that? you know?
Uh, I don't know what the hell the Steelers are doing. I was just enjoying the Giants game with my cousin. Pretty good time. We had some drunk fans to our right, and after one play, they just spilled beer all over the place, but it was all good and fun.
Oh man, it seems like the NFL fix was in on that one, man. But speaking about fixes, speaking about trades, on MooseNice.com, that's all I see here. Trade after trade, man. And one guy in particular, Legion, on there, I think he traded like 4 or 5 times in the last 2 days. Trade deadline was this Friday. I want to get your guys' opinion here on the trades in general. I mean, this late in the season, I mean, we're pretty much like, what, 80, 85% done, maybe 90% done for some teams. Why so late with this trade deadline, man? Blaze, you think this was a late trade deadline? Should we even have a trade deadline at this point? What's going on here, man?
Yeah, of course there should be a trade deadline. Brings order to the league, or else people like Taz and Legion, they'd be trading all season long. If they could, they'd be even trading in the playoffs here. I think it was late purely because of the holiday break. That's something you just can't help. And next season it's probably going to be a regular time there, and it's not going to be so late. There's not going to be a holiday break there, so as far as I know, and things will just go run smoother.
Well, that's the thing, man. With the holiday break, these guys are 3 weeks in, plus the holiday break, that's 4 weeks, and plus they're adding this week, they added till Friday. That's like 5 weeks, man. I mean, why you need so much weeks for a trade deadline to go down? I don't understand. And then on top of that, you got guys like Legion making trades. What do you guys feel about this? A team that's mathematically out of the playoffs. There's no chance this guy could make the playoffs, man. You don't think there's like going to be a huge storm of emo meltdowns coming down? Who wants to get traded a team that can't even make the playoffs? No matter, even if they win all their games, I mean, they've been out for weeks now. Ski, what do you think about the trade deadline, the being able to trade even teams that can't even make the playoffs at this point, man?
I don't know. It just makes me wonder why you would make a trade in the first place. You're giving away basically all your best players to these potential playoff teams in exchange for, run the mill guys, and I don't know what's Legion's tactic, to be quite honest. It amazes me that all the talent that he had on his team, and now he brought like. I don't want to say MAHL people, but I don't know. I think the MEC has to look into why Legion is actually captaining and why he's turning teams that he drafted that looks good, on paper, and just basically destroying them. It just doesn't make sense, to be quite honest.
It's like he's got a new team every week, man. But it's the same Legion team. They lost 17 in a row, fellas, here. 17-game losing streak. They lost 23 out of their last 24 games. So, I mean, he does the trade. It doesn't matter, man. I mean, this team is going down this week. It's not going to be any different, I don't think, even with the moves. But just my point on here, man, what if you're the guy that gets traded to a team like this, man? This late in the season where there's maybe, like 3 series left. You can't make the playoffs, on top of that. I mean, you don't think people will get emo when something like this happens, man? I mean, and on top of that, I mean, this guy, Legion, what if he doesn't even decide to be captain next season or, not selected? It's not like we run a franchise or anything where teams come back, you come back with your players. So this guy, he trades us, washes his hands, and that's it. He's done with it, man. So what prevents him from trading his number 1 pick to a team? And then how fair is it for the other teams, man? How about the parity where, let's say I got a guy like Kuzi, I can't make the playoffs, I'll put him up on a trading block, and I'll trade him to one of the top teams, man. I mean, does that make any type of sense here, man? Do you see what I'm talking about here, Fallen, man? What's going on, man?
Honestly, I don't know how Legion, why he's even making trades. I didn't. Wasn't he the one with like 2 first-round draft picks? Like, how do you screw up a draft like that? You can always count on Legion to do that, I guess. But to make trades this late in the season, there's no point. Like, I know you want to try getting the guys on your team to like a good team so they can actually have a chance of making the playoffs. But again, the guys that are getting traded to this crappy team, they just have to suck it up and play with it because guess what? They're stuck on the team and there's nothing they can do about it.
No, there isn't. There's not even much time left to do anything, even if they go on a winning streak at this point. You know what I mean? That was my just point on here. Shadow, I don't know if you got anything else to add about the trades or about any of the trades that went down over this past weekend, man.
This guy needs to learn how to run a team.
Maybe we should run some. Go ahead.
Maybe he's just trying to help his buddies and get them off his team.
Yeah.
So, you know what? I'll help you guys. You guys did good for me. You know what? You go to a team that can make playoffs.
Same thing happened in the AHL here with the Tony Soprano and the crazy Yeti Killer trade here. Traded Hugh Laurie, Buddy H, and Must Have Fallen there for 2 solid guys there. Now, those 3 guys were making Tony's team solid, but he traded them to the bottom of the barrel. And I was talking to Must Have Fallen today, and he's emo as fuck, man. He's trying to get captains to get him the hell out of there. But it is what it is. You can't do nothing about it when you get traded. You can just try to make the best of a bad situation.
Man. Especially this late, man. This late in the season. I know in the MHL there was a lot of rescheduling, but the MAHL, it's pretty much done this week, man. You know what I mean? So there's no time for him to do anything at this point. But I don't know. We'll see what happens, man. Just wanted to look at some of those trades, man. We'll discuss maybe some more when we go over the teams. We'll come back. We'll discuss the MHL here for season number 13. We'll be right back. Welcome back, family. Back to Moose Roundup here. As promised, we'll go over the MHL, see what happened here last week in the MHL. We got M. Farrer's team smoking that herb. Once again, one of the teams that were involved in a trade Farrer trading off Marty McFly, disbanding the McFly brothers there, and picking up Frosty Nightmare. This week he went 4-2, improved to a 13-9-3 record, 29 points. They swept Legion's team, no surprise, but then they lose to Timeless, going 4-2. Then you got Relax and Take Notes, led there by Taz. Pretty good week here, 6-2 actually, and improved to 14-13, above 500. He's got 28 points. He swept Legion and he swept Timeless. So, and then Second Nature, another one here in this division here, 30 games played. They went 5-3. They were actually on an 8-game winning streak, but then Drift King came to town and they got swept in their last matchup there against Never Say Never. And then the other three teams here in the Eastern Conference, Serious Business Cats, led by JJ, only playing one series, and they won them 3-0, swept Timeless's team on the season here, 44 points. And then we got the chronically arthritic Fappers, 39 points, 6-0, undefeated this week. They swept Jay-Z, and they swept Bill's team. And then we got the Let Tabernacles, only playing one series here, going 1-2, lost to Jay-Z's team. What do you guys think about the Eastern Conference here in the MHL for last week, man? Ski, we'll begin with you, man. You're in the MHL. What do you think here, man?
The chronic arthritic Fappers, they're easily probably the top team in the league. They single-handedly took down what most people would say that the best team in the league is Jay-Z with his recent trade, and they just swept them like it's nothing. So I think a lot of people misunderstood this team, and they were flying under the radar. And now since they're just being all the top teams in the league, I think this is the team to watch out for to win the Moose Cup, to be quite honest.
Ever since Straping Legion, they're getting Sacred Silence. This team's been unstoppable. Not only are they winning, man, they're sweeping teams, man. They swept Jay-Z's team, man. I don't care how close that was. They swept them, man. They swept Bills. Right now, I think you just give them the Moose Cup right now, man. I mean, Duke's got a great squad there. Fappers, I can't disagree on that either, man. Anything else you guys want to add?
I wouldn't go into that yet.
Oh?
I wouldn't go into that yet. They still got to face our team, all right?
Hey, man,
they still got to come through here.
I mean, if you sweep Jay-Z's team, they beat JJ's teams 4 times this season already. I mean, odds-on favorite. I gotta agree here, man. These guys, like I said, until somebody proves otherwise, they're just sweeping everybody.
Yeah. I mean, that's just a regular season. Let's go to playoff time. Let's see if they can match that. In the regular season, let's see if they can match in the playoffs.
Are you saying that Daly and Duke, since they don't got a Moose Cup, that maybe they choke in the playoffs? Is that what it is, man?
I'm not saying choke, but they haven't won one.
Okay.
I mean, they have a good team, but like I said, we gotta see how they do in the playoffs in the tense situation that they can bring it and actually finish and win the Moose Cup.
Okay. Unless anybody got anything else to add, we'll move on here to the Western Conference. First, worst kind of people actually played this week, man. They played 8 games, so they almost got the 9 games played as scheduled, the 3-game series. But they got 8 games played, good ups to Timeless getting some games played. They went 3-4-1 this week. They got swept actually by Relax and Take Notes. They did win the game against Farrer. They won that series. And they improved to 30 points here, 24 games played. Then we got Beauty and the Bill, 27 games played. They got 26 points on the season. They went 4-3-1 this week. Not bad, man, but they might need to do a lot more than that if they're going to think about playoffs here. They got swept by Jay-Z. I mean, they sweep Jay-Z's team, and then they got swept by the Fappers. So, I mean, they did get that big win against Jay-Z, but once again, they had to play Fappers, and they got swept there. Then you got Moose Like Jagger. Horrible week here for these guys, for Ed the Pimp, going 0-6. Maybe that's why he did the trades. He traded off Meet the Assassin, his goaltender, and made a lot of moves. We'll see if that works out for him. Last week, 0-6. They got swept by the Cats, and Second Nature actually sweeping these guys. They're at 19 points right now, but they still got a lot of games to make up here. Then we got Jay-Z's team, Energy, with 44 points. They went 2-5-2 actually last week. Not a solid week for Jay-Z, but he's still on top there with a record of 29-4. You know what I mean? He beat the Elite Tabernacles. And then you got Drift King's team, Never Say Never, with 30 points. He only played one series, 3-0. They swept Second Nature. And then Legion's team, I don't got to go in there, 0-6 again. What about the West here, man? What you think, Ski? Or anybody?
I think probably the big surprise is Jay-Z's team having a losing record this week. Everyone's just saying, okay, the defense is impenetrable or, whatever. Jay-Z's going to do everything. Well, it's kind of showing right now that he's not going to be able to, carry the team. Plus, he did trade B. Kemba away to...
Yeah, that didn't last long.
I forgot. He traded B. Kemba away, and then he got someone else. So he's trying to get another guy to, help him out, because obviously one person's not going to carry the whole team. It's got to be a team effort. And especially, if you're a winger, you need that one other person just to take some slack right off of you, especially if you're one of the top guys in the league and everybody's just going right after you, double teaming, triple team, whatever they have to do just to stop that one person and make the other guys on your team make the plays. So right now, against these tough teams, Jay-Z just has to find a different strategy to eventually turn it around.
Okay. He did trade B. Kemba. He picked up from Legion. He got Satanis Blanco, veteran here. So maybe he was looking for that offense, because, he's got great defense. He's keeping those scores low, but they're not putting up much points. They beat the Elite Tabernacles, but it was close, man. It was like 1-0, 2-0 games. Not much offense going on. So Jay-Z with 2-5-2.
Then we.
You know what I mean?
And then we beat them 6-3. So it's you just gotta take some time, and you will eventually get through.
Yeah. What about in general this MHL here, season 13? What about all these reschedules, Blaze? What the hell's going on here, man? I see some teams with like 24 games played, 25 games played. There's like 4 or 5 teams. When are we gonna finish this season, man? I know Timeless tried. He got 8 games played this week, man. How's the playoffs gonna be, man? We're gonna have a huge delay here. I know AHL about to go into the playoffs soon, man. What are we gonna do during that off season, man? We're just gonna wait for the playoffs to be done here? What's going on?
Yeah, I don't know here. It seems like the captains are really picky when they want to play. They didn't pick the refuse days right here, and it's showing here. Not to mention the break, obviously, it caused a lot of confusion. It's just a bunch of bullshit that's happening here. The AHL teams can get it done. Why can't the MHL teams? Captains, smarten up, play your games, and don't wuss out.
Does the AHL have better captains than the MHL this season? Is that it? These guys, all these reschedules, man. AHL's got it right. You say about that extra week, the holidays. That was pretty much, it could have been a makeup games, man, week. You know what I mean? So instead, I don't think anybody took advantage of that. And then here we are, week 5 or 6, whatever it is, man. And these guys can't get the games played. And I just feel on here, I look at Jay-Z's team, he's got 33 games played. He's only got 2 series left. He's pretty much finishing his season this week. What does he do when a guy like Timeless has got 24 games played? And I'm not only picking up on Timeless on here because he's got 24 games played, so do a couple other teams. And I think it's just a whole captain fail all around here, because they're in it, they accept the reschedules. If Thomas wants to reschedule, the other captain has to agree on it. You know what I mean? So they're pretty much on the same boat here as well, man. They're agreeing to the reschedules. What if this happens in the playoffs as well, man? What long off season are we gonna see on here? And how unfair is it for the teams that are actually playing the games? Like Jay-Z's team, let's say he's got to wait like over a week to start the playoffs, man. I know teams sometimes will get cold in that. What do you guys think, man? Or am I just out of my way here, man? Anybody?
I agree with you, Jim. I think there should be a new rule instated. The rules right now for rescheduling is too relaxed, and it's causing all this extendedness, and we don't need that. We try to have as little turnover as possible there, and we gotta wait for these jackasses to play their games. It just lessens the time we can play here. I think the rule should be if you're going to reschedule for 1 week, you have to make sure you get the series done before that end of that week, or else, it just counts as a tie or something. I don't know.
How about a season with no reschedules, man? How about a season with no reschedules?
No, that's a little too far. I think there should just be a limit on how many reschedules.
Well, here's the thing, man. When these guys go into the season, don't they give like their refused nights, man? So when they generate these schedules, they already got their refused nights off. You know what I mean? You got these call-ups there as well, man. So why do you need reschedules? I think if they do reschedule, let's say I got a game for this Thursday night, I got to reschedule it. Make them reschedule it before Thursday, not after Thursday, you know what I mean? So it doesn't delay the schedule here, man. You know? When there's teams playing only one series.
Know what I think's happening here? Sorry, Jim, but what I think's happening here is all these teams are rescheduling because they're missing their best player, and their best player's not going to be there, so they think they're going to lose. So they can reschedule it for another date where they would have them and then beat them or beat the other team. So I think there should be a limit to reschedules, just like Shadow Demon said there.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see what happens. I think it's an all-around fail, man, because I think, if the other captains wouldn't accept the reschedule, as well, man, because they got to accept it as well for it to go down. And I just think this season, I think it's had the most reschedules out of any season I've seen before, man. So, and we don't like to see delays, man. We don't like to see delays. Unfortunately, some of these games have to. I think the season finishes off on the 17th. So, it's not that bad, but we could have started the playoffs next week. All right, man. That pretty much wraps it up here for the MHL. Come back. We'll have the AHL portion. Welcome back, Moose family.
Please, we got a series in half an hour.
Yeah, man, it's 30 minutes. Welcome back. Here's the AHL portion. Starting things off here in the Eastern Conference. Low End Theory, walk of shame here, going 3-3. Not bad, not good either. They beat Lambda. Then they lost to Cloudy Days' team, Raging Fornicators. Then you got Slow Children at play. 1-4-1 this week. Not a good sign, especially if teams trying to make the playoffs. One of the games they played, they got outscored 15-2. I don't know how that happens. They lost to Lambda. Then you got the Devil's Rejects going 4-2 this week. They swept Sesame Street. It was the battle of the two teams down in the bottom there. And then they lost to the Two-Line Tweakers, a playoff team. So for Crazy Eddie Killer, filling there 4-2, though not bad for the week. Then you got Dharma Initiative, led there by Joe Stowe. A lot of guys think this guy's hands down Antler Cup this season. He went 8-0-1 this week. Swept Miss McGill's team. He swept Sesame Street. And then he won that tough series against Damage Inc. Those 3 overtime games. And then you got Miss McGill's Tea Party. Tony Soprano. Bad week here. 1-5. Maybe that's why he made the moves there. 1-5. He got swept by Dharma. And he lost to Damage Inc. And then lastly in the East, Noose on Mice going 4-2. They swept Two-Line and Tweakers, but then they lost to Cloudy Days, who pretty much everybody's been losing to lately, the Raging Fornicators. What do you guys think about the East here, man? Narrowing it down here last week before the playoffs. What's going on, man?
Well, there's been different stories for different teams here. For Low-End's team there, they just lost their number one goalie there. They have a backup in there, and so far he's been mediocre thus far. Tony Soprano's team, I think he panicked a little too early. Played two solid teams there. One's on the uprise, one's been dominating all season, and I think he panicked when it came to this trade. I think his team's going to be 10 times worse than what it was now. You're going to see that next season. That's my prediction. The other teams there, it's business as usual. Dharma's been dominating there. They had a tough series, but then they also had two series sweeps there, and a sweep is not bad at all, concerning any team at all. It gives you the crucial points, and now this team's for sure clinched the playoffs, I believe. Saints team struggling as always. It is what it is. You can't do nothing about it. He's tried trading, and it's just not working for this guy. I don't think this guy's going to make the playoffs either, even if he makes a push. And it's just business as usual in the Eastern. No surprises here. Everybody's been staying where they've been all season long, and it's just a continuation of the last couple weeks.
Okay. I think for Saints team they're going 1-4-1, not a good sign, especially if you want to try to make the playoffs. You mentioned Dharma Initiative. I think, in my opinion, I think this is the team to beat here in the AHL. For Miss McGill's team, let's look at this trade here, man. I mean, he traded off Hugh Laurie, man. He traded him. He picked in this trade. The guys that he got ended up with Shameless, and he got a goaltender. What was it, Sniper? I think Sniper 0270. He's got a goaltender there. I think that was the main thing here that Tony Soprano. I don't think he was happy with his goaltending on his team. I believe Buddy H9 played in net for him. I forget who his actual goaltender was. Do you agree with this trade here for Miss McGill, Fallen?
No, I agree with it. They didn't have a strong goaltender. They did have to swap Buddy H9 and I believe it was High Flyer. So now that he's got that solid goaltender in net, he doesn't have to worry about switching up his lineup. Shameless, he did get the goals title, so he's proving that he can score. But other than that, Tony Soprano's team, I think they got a little bit better than what they used to be.
Okay. All right. Anybody else got anything else to add?
You can disagree with me all you want.
No, I think Devils Rejects, they got the better end of this deal. They have Hugh Laurie. He's been solid so far.
Yeah, but
maybe not
please,
his
think of it.
stats
He's
are up
2
to par
series a
where
week.
he used to be because he hasn't played as many games. They got Mustafon and they got Buddy, man. Those are two utility players that any team would love to have here. I think what the major point in this trade, though, is Tony just wasn't happy with his goaltending. And with doing that, he traded also forwards too, a 2-for-2 trade. I think, they were struggling in the beginning. They worked out the chemistry issues. They had a set line, and then they traded one of those set players. I think this is just going to bring the whole forward line out of whack. Sure, you have a great player, but is he going to mesh well? They had a solid system going on, and now when they took out one of the gears out of the system, is the system going to crumble, or is it going to go on? I think it's going to crumble here.
Okay. I think we lost Fallen there, but pretty
He
much.
raged.
He did? Oh man.
I don't know.
Maybe
It'd be funny though.
Maybe it's Goofy kicking him out. I don't know, man. But he looks like he's out.
Oh God, we know if Goofy gets on the video camera, it's bad news.
Oh man. All right, let's move on here. Let's finish things off here in the West. Raging Fornicators 7-1-1 this week. They swept Children. They won against Noose and Sesame Street. Then you got Damage Inc. going 4-2-3. Lost a lot of games here, but it managed 11 points though in those overtime wins there. Then you got Sesame Street 0-6. Getting a donut here this last week. 9-game losing streak here for Sesame Street. Then you got Lambda going 3-2-1. They did lose to Walk of Shame earlier this week, and then you got Two Line and Tweakers going 2-3-1. Not a good week here for Two Line Tweakers. They got swept by Noose on Mice. They did. I believe they won against Devil's Rejects. Yeah, they did. They won that one, and they got We Killed Kenny only playing one series here, going 2-1. But they did beat Damage Inc., which they needed. What do you think about the West Conference here, Blaze? Any you see a lot of changes here, or what?
What I see here is a huge fight for the playoff spots here. You know, you got Two Line Tweakers, Damage Incorporated, We Killed Kenny, and even the Devil's Rejects are even trying to get it. I'm laughing because
Crazy Yeti Killer still thinks he's gonna make playoffs, man.
I talked to him. He's hoping he's gonna make the playoffs.
Wow.
So that's out of my hands. There, I'm not gonna even bother touching them. Two Line Tweakers, they need to smarten their act up. Damage Incorporated, they're starting to smarten up with Shadow Demon here leading the way, but it still might not be enough. There's a huge series tonight, Sesame Street versus Damage Inc., hoping to pull ahead. Again, also, the other two teams that are battling for those last 2-3 playoff spots, they're in action tonight. I think this week is going to determine who's going to make the playoffs, who's not here. Last week, it really doesn't matter. It all piles up to this week there. I heard some people say whoever won that We Killed Kenny Damage Incorporated series was going to make the playoffs. Well, Damage Incorporated lost the series there barely. But look who's in the playoff spot here. It doesn't matter. Points are really close. Any team near top 10, I believe, can make the playoffs there. And it's going to be a huge race between this week and next week.
Okay. I mean, We Killed Kenny. I know they're behind in points from Damage Inc., but they do got less games played. They got 27 games played, so they do got games to make up here to catch up for that playoff spot. But let's look at, mathematically, Devil's Rejects still in it on here. I mean, they're 7-19-1, 15 points. You look at We Killed Kenny, 25 points, 12-14-1. It could happen, but it's, I don't know. I mean, I think it'll be a miracle, man, if it does happen on there. But we'll see what happens here, man. We got pretty much the last week here in the AHL before the playoffs. Anything else you guys wanted to add on here before we sign out? Go Broncos? What?
Yeah. Go Broncos. Whoa. I don't think so.
Oh, Tim Tebow, man.
I'm sexy and I know it.
Oh,
Dude,
man.
screw Tim Tebow. He faces Pleated Steelers team. Let's see how he does against freaking New England. Yeah, their defense is crap, but their offense, forget it, man. Let's see how they stop them.
Okay. Ski says
screw Tebow.
Who's got a better chance, Ski? Tim Tebow beating the Patriots or Devil's Rejects getting into the playoffs, man?
All right. I'd go with Tim Tebow on that one.
I will take the Devil's Reject making the playoffs chance.
All right. There you go, Crazy.
Take that.
Crazy Yeti Killer got a fan over there. All right, man. We'll sign out here. It's been Moose Roundup.
Yeah, I'm a fan of yours, Crazy Yeti Killer.
Nice. All right.
It'll be a cold day in hell before I cheer for Tebow. So.
There we go. We'll see you guys next week, next Sunday, same time. Moose Roundup. Good night, everybody.
Oh, no, not the Truffle Shuffle again. Oh, God.
It's just
I don't know why you
It's just stuck there. It's just like right on the edge of my brain. Like how?
So
can I
what don't
get
we
rid
know
of it?
about you, Shadow? About you and Jason's underwear imaging?
Oh God, I don't know.
Oh, look at the kitty!
Did I
Wow.
Oh, did I mention I puked? Yeah, that would work out.
Oh, I thought you would have done something else, but.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention I masturbated to it too. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. That's what I like to hear. There you go. That's how you get worked up before every series. Just think about Jason Blaze's underwear.
God.
Yeah. What the? Really, Jason?